Well, what a privilege then for you guys to be able to offer them craniosacral therapy. That must have made a big difference for a lot of them. And Tracy Vroom, as you know, works primarily with horses with her craniosacral program out of Colorado. And another person we had on our show who works with horses was Leslie Desmond, who worked primarily with Bill Durrance and wrote a long book after years of interviewing him, and has continued to carry on his work and his way of approaching horses. And Helena, you have some experience with the Durrance family as well, I hear.
And yes, and we say it Durrance.
Okay.
That's how we pronounce it.
You Californians talk differently than us.
And Tom Dorrance, Bill's brother, was my first riding instructor from the time I was 7 years old, and he was really a great mentor to me until his passing. I saw him fairly regularly throughout my life of riding and training horses. And even when I got into endurance and dressage, it didn't matter, because they were truly simpatico with the animals, and they were. I know a lot of people have taken their work and sort of done different things with it.
That's true.
And everybody does what comes naturally to them, and they all sort of interpret the various work in their own way. But I have to tell you, I never saw Tom Dorrance or his wife Margaret or Bill ever do anything harsh with horses. The horses were as one with them. They were bonded within, usually within 10 minutes. They could feel and sense just this flowing, connected, centered being. And everything was made to make the right thing easy, the wrong thing just enough difficult to where it was very natural for the horse to choose the route the person wanted without ever feeling stressed or traumatized.
Well, and that's so important, and that's a huge part of doing TTouch, is making that connection with an animal so that they trust you, and then you can work with them. And I know I've seen there's some women in Australia that do a lot of different types of body work and train Mustangs, and they have, at some of those competitions that are so popularized with training Mustangs, they have spent most of the time they're allotted days just doing body work and groundwork with the horse, and they don't get on it until the last day, and then there's no incident, and they proceed on because they've gained that horse's trust. And it is such a gift to be able to study with someone who's got that kind of quiet way of being with animals, like Linda Tellington. And it is, I think it's a real gift for people to get that early in their lives like you did. I did not have such good trainers when I was young, so it was a bit more of a struggle. But certainly many people that have been on the radio show are Tellington TTouch practitioners, and when we come back for the last segment, we will hear about a lot more of them. And we now also, I talked to Dr. Bernie Siegel, who's a good friend of mine and helped me when I had cancer, and Helena had the privilege of meeting him when she was out here taking, in fact, a craniosacral class with me. Helena, tell us about your experience with Bernie.
Well, I have known of Bernie for, 35 years. My mother discovered him, and I don't believe she was ill at the time, but somebody was, and she was a very avid seeker. And so she found some books by Bernie and some audio cassette programs. And so from the time I was in my mid-teens, I heard Bernie speaking about this way of, he's a medical doctor and he was an oncologist, and his way of helping people to meditate, to do dream therapy.
Right, so to look within, to see the meaning in your illness. He really is the father of mind-body medicine. I mean, people were not doing what he was doing until years after he was doing it.
And they found their own treatments so that they were in alignment. I remember one story that he told about young boy who was in treatment for some cancer, and whenever the family was driving in the car, when he saw the red light at a stop sign, he threw up. And through dream therapy, they figured out that the radiation, when they were irradiating him, there was a red light, and it wasn't working for him. And, oh my God, who else would know this?
Right. Yeah, close observation with people and animals makes such a big difference in your experience with them. And really, thank God, Bernie helped so many people when he was practicing at a big hospital in Connecticut for years and years and years. And we also have Bernie to thank for the wonderful book, Buddy's Candle, about coping with grief when you have an animal or a loved one passing, as well as his wonderful book, Smudge Bunny, where the bunny finds out once he's homeless, he remembers the words of his mother, "Don't worry, this too will pass and things will work out." And that's exactly what happens with Smudge Bunny. And so we also were lucky to talk to Ann Martin, who's also from California, of the House Rabbit Society, about bunnies. And she was just such a wealth of information about having rabbits and how to find the right rabbit and who's an appropriate rabbit caretaker. And I know, Helena, you've had some experience with bunnies.
I have had, and mostly at your house. But before and since with Tellington TTouch work, we've worked with bunnies, and I've done Tellington TTouch with them and craniosacral training with them, craniosacral therapy with them, and it's really such an honor to work with these such gentle, kind, soft little beings who are also, I found, in the ones that I've met, they're so prepared for people to scare them.
Yep,
and
they are.
I think they're fearful a lot of the time, and when they start sensing that you are approaching them, you're available to connect through their aura before you even touch them, they start to relax from the very start. And that little bunny that I just sent you the picture of that we worked with at your house, that was a little bunny. Was it a pygmy bunny, a little dwarf bunny?
No, she was a dwarf mix.
Was such a cute little bunny, and she was so gracious with us in letting us work with her. And
I really feel like rabbits encourage us to be as gentle and sweet as they are when we approach them. And if we really just quiet ourselves in our minds and come at them as slowly and carefully as they are watching us, it really, the level of connection you can make with a rabbit is profound.
Really awesome.
Well, it's about time to take another break to hear from our sponsors. You're listening to Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets with physical therapist for pets and people, Sally Morgan, on DreamVision7Radio.com, and I'm here with my guest and friend, Helena Bresk, and we are talking about the shows that we've had over the past year, because this is, in fact, our farewell show. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Interested in learning more? Visit physical therapist Sally Morgan's website at sallymorganpt.com, where you will find details about her upcoming speaking engagements, craniosacral therapy, and Tellington TTouch offerings, as well as information about holistic care for animals. Join the mailing list today and be the first to learn about upcoming events and special offers. Sally Morgan is a best-selling author, and her book, Dances of the Heart, Connecting with Animals, details her journey of learning to listen to animals. Her unique set of animal connection cards offers 52 activities to enhance your relationships with the animals in your life, and she suggests that you ask your pet to choose a card each week. Both Sally's book and her cards are available on Amazon and her website, sallymorganpt.com. Join Sally Morgan PT CST Daily on Facebook for conversations with a corgi, and visit YouTube for past episodes as well as Sally's TED Talk. When it comes to our pets' health, you can never be too careful. We invest significant time in ensuring that they have long and happy lives, but it's important to invest the same dedication into our own longevity. The key active ingredient in Dr. Morgan's wellness formula, pure New Zealand deer antler velvet, is now available as a standalone human-grade product. Life Deer Antler Velvet is a whole food supplement rich in calcium and collagen to support healthy joints and strong bones. Our products prioritize purity, ethical harvesting, and quality sourcing above all else. Visit lifepurerecovery.com to learn more and order your first bottle today.
Tune in to world-renowned author, speaker, and holistic veterinarian Dr. Judy Morgan, and now radio host of Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network every Monday and Tuesday, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Not sure which vaccinations should be given or how often? Not sure which food is best for your individual pet? Find out the answers to your questions in this weekly show where Dr. Judy interviews top experts and showcases the latest products that will help your pets stay naturally healthy.
Does your dog have bad breath? Tired of spending money on expensive dental procedures? Try out Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops today and save money while maintaining your pet's oral health. With New Zealand deer antler velvet as the primary ingredient, Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops are effective for treating stomatitis, gingivitis, and ulcers. You can purchase Dr. Morgan's Dental Drops directly from Amazon Prime or from her website, www.drjudymorgan.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back. You're listening to Dr. Judy Morgan's Naturally Healthy Pets, and I'm holistic physical therapist and Dr. Judy Morgan's sister, Sally Morgan. And I'm here with my guest, Helena Brest from California, and we are looking back over the year of shows that I've done for this program because we are, in fact, having our farewell show today. And one of the interviews that really touched my heart was the interview with Debbie Bauer, who is a TTouch practitioner and a friend of mine. She has worked in shelters. She has trained service dogs and therapy dogs, and she is a real advocate for blind and deaf dogs, especially those that result from breeding two merle-colored dogs to each other, which is a gray dappley color that the Aussie and the Sheltie and the Collie people really prefer. And if you breed two of that color together, you get a blind and deaf dog. And she has taken many of these dogs in as a rescue mission, and she talked to us a lot about how to handle them and how to give them signals on their body to tell them to go out, to come forward. And she's gone so far as to even do dog dancing and freestyle work with her beautiful dog, Vinny, who Helena had the pleasure of meeting just at the celebration, the TTouch celebration a few weeks ago. Helena, how did you like Vinny?
Oh, he was so awesome. I experimented because she had him in a pen, so that he was contained in the room while we were doing our sessions. And I would go and sit by the pen because I just wanted to see his awareness of me. And I was so impressed that not only did he know exactly where his pen began and ended, and he was interactive. He could find where you were. He knew how close you were. He knew where to, like, sometimes he would just sort of touch your hand with his nose. He knew exactly where everything was. And I'm sure that a part of his enhanced awareness is her allowing him to find, and using the TTouch and her various techniques, allowing him to find what is around him and give him the comfort so that he can be very squarely centered in his body and not afraid.
That's right. I think a lot of it is having that strong connection with your blind and deaf dog so that you can give them the confidence to explore their world and know that you are looking out for them. And so many of us have dogs that in their senior years can't see or hear, and so even though we haven't had a blind and deaf dog for his whole life, we often do when they're seniors. And Helena, you've had that experience, haven't you?
I have had, and one of the things that I've learned to do with all of my dogs now is I use, no matter what kind of training techniques I'm using, and mine are all non-force, I also use hand signals. And so when I'm asking them to come to me, I'm using a hand signal. And so, for instance, my